Greetings viewers, Eric the Car Guy here, also known as ETCG1 on this here channel. And I feel it's necessary to preface in this video that ETCG1 is not about repair videos. ETCG1 is about, let's just say, stuff that's outside of repair. I don't do repair videos on ETCG1. We just talk about different topics and that kind of thing that might be of interest to you or might have been of interest to me. It is my show. Today our topic is sort of up in the air, and I say that because I didn't quite have an idea coming into today, but I actually had a couple of ideas during the course of the day. So for today's topic, I'm calling it Experience Counts. And I've done videos in the past talking about certifications and the importance of certifications, and we've had this little back and forth about that, you know, certifications versus experience. In fact, a lot of that was covered in Disposable Technicians, link in the description. And a lot of you came back with I don't really want to say arguments, but you made points to say that experience outweighs any certifications that you might have. And in many ways I tend to agree with you. However, you got to look good on paper too. Like all the experience, it's difficult to prove experience. That's where certification comes in, I think. It's difficult to say, well, yeah, I did blah 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 and blah blah blah. And the reason I'm doing Experience Counts today is because I spent a lot of time going down a rabbit hole, and it was on an electrical problem. And it's going to be a video that you'll see at some point in the future, but it was on a Mercury Marquis, a 2004 Mercury Marquis. I know you're thinking, Eric, Ford. I gotta tell you, the thing of that car it was really strange. It's a 2004, but many of you know, in fact, if you go back through this channel, that I had a 1972 Ford Galaxie 500, which is basically a full-size Ford from 1972. The similarities between how that 72 is set up and how that 2004 is set up is uncanny. It's uncanny, really. All they did was make the 2004 sort of like a little baby sister to that other one, but the placement of a lot of things, and in fact, like the little vacuum tree that's on the back firewall, I wasn't expecting to see that. That's there. Vacuum operated HVAC servos, that kind of thing. I digress. So I'm working on this 2004 Grand Marquis and trying to solve an electrical problem with the blower motor. And I'm going through step by step, and I'm trying to show you, the viewers, as I'm going through the process, you know, just step by step by step of trying to figure out why this blower motor is not working like it's supposed to. And I got to a point where I actually had the bad part in my hand. And instead of following my gut and continuing on and looking at that bad part a little bit closer, I went on this wild goose chase that ended up costing me about half a day. I eventually found the problem, but I gained experience from that. Because I had that difficulty this time, the next time I get into that situation, I'm gonna, you know, a little voice in the back of my head is gonna be saying, hey Eric, remember the last time this happened? Maybe you should follow up on X. And that's experience. That's the voice of experience, as some people say, in the back of your head that says, you know, hey, wait a minute. Just because the book says this, just because the evidence says this, doesn't necessarily mean that's where you should go. You might consider saying, hey, wait a second. Experience has taught me that this is the issue. Now, experience can lead you down the wrong path too. Experience can lead you to believe that you know more than the evidence sometimes. So you have to be careful with experience, I think. But on a day like today, the experience of today, the fact that I spent half of my day doing some stuff that I didn't even need to do, will pay off. I mean, it didn't pay off today. Well, it'll pay off in the sense that you'll benefit from watching that video and seeing what happened, but also in the sense that the next time I find myself in that situation, I'm going to be like, remember last time? Remember last time? You know, heed that warning. Heed the warnings of the past. Heed the warnings of experience. So I'm going to present it back to you. I'm going to say, okay, experience counts. Experience matters. What are your experiences with experience? I mean, have you found yourself in a situation where you have spent half a day doing something and you found out, geez, you know, you could have had it done in the first half hour, 10 minutes or whatever. Are you a professional technician? Have you seen other technicians doing this? Have you seen your neighbors doing this? Like maybe he's out in his driveway doing something, scratching his head trying to figure out something that he can't figure out, and yet you or maybe somebody else can walk in and in about 2 minutes go boom, point right to the problem. It's kind of frustrating when those people get around, but at the same time they're lifesavers. And is that the question I'm asking you? Do you think that's a question of their experience with their craft or their field? And maybe we can take this even outside of mechanical repair. Maybe we can take it into other things that you might be a specialty with. I'm noticing in the comments of these ETCG1 videos that there's a lot of crossover to a lot of different fields. So feel free to make your contributions on how experience matters in what you do, and how experience has gotten you out of a jam, and how you got into a jam to gain the experience so that next time it ain't gonna happen again. So I look forward to your comments down in the description. Remember, ETCG1, we talk about stuff. We don't fix stuff here on ETCG1. We fix stuff on Eric the Car Guy. Yes, that's where we fix stuff. So remember that. Anyway, I am Eric the Car Guy, also known as ETCG1 on this here channel. If you want to connect with me, I can always be found at ericthecarguy.com. Where if you have automotive questions, I would ask that you ask the handy dandy search function there at the top of the page. Just type in a couple of keywords and it's very possible you will get an answer to your question right away. If that's not necessarily the case, feel free to sign up for our forum. It's absolutely free. All you need is an email address. Just be sure to respond to the confirmation email. If you don't find a confirmation email, check your spam folder. It's important that you do that in order to complete your registration. If you wish to connect with me socially, you can find me on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, and I close each and every video with, be safe, say it with me now, have fun, and stay dirty. And lastly, I've been doing this. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. See you later.